Okay, welcome back to Tank Tuesday. This is week 3. Previously in week 2 and week 1, in week 1, built the mechanism to fire whatever piece we decide to use for our projectile. Next we hooked up last week we hooked up a small magazine. It only holds 2. I think I forgot to mention that in my previous video. I'd like to expand it, but that depends on how big the rest of the tank is. I can go back and fix that if I want to, but I'm happy with it just being able to hold 2 without having 1 in the barrel. So I guess it could hold 3, but 1 might fall out if it went over a bump or something. But next we have this right here connected to here. There's a rod goes through, so we have 2 of these gears connecting to this little one and this right here. Then I started working on a casing so we could anchor this motor into the bed, like the tank's roof of the main compartment will be right about here. So this will kind of sit low, then we'll have a motor face up. And I figured out that I want a self-steering on the not self-steering, self-centering on the motor, so that, let's say, I don't need to slow it down, I guess. It can go real quick like that, and then let go, and it'll center. Real quick, center. Sort of like that, and I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. I looked it up, and didn't find any specific videos to this topic, but judging by that, just some pieces and a rubber band. So I guess let's get into it. And yeah, if you want to skip the time lapse, feel free, but I enjoy doing time lapses, so yeah, we're going to be in every episode now. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, so it has now been an hour, and as you saw in the time lapse, I made some decent progress. I got the system to rotate. It doesn't seem like much was added. If you saw last week's, I already had experimenting with this, but it's just significantly bigger. And obviously there will be a plate right here. This barrel will slide right along the top. and it's still in progress, so it's flimsy, but that's to be expected because it's just a skeleton at the moment, and I'm not bothering with structure. That's next week's project, because I need to have a frame built before I go in and add tracks and stuff. So, basically, have a small motor connected to a small, medium gear and 2 large gears. Just the gears I had available to make the distance, because speed didn't really matter on this, because I built this system here, which I mentioned at the beginning. This basically, when the gear, this I'm not going to move because I don't want to hurt the motor or anything, but basically it'll do that and push that out, and then when I stop the motor, it'll pull this back in place. So basically the turret will mostly it'll go from being over here, and I don't have to readjust it to aim, like in a RC car, basically, how like when you stop twisting it, it'll rotate the wheels back to forward, so that it'll always be in a forward position unless I change it. And that just runs over here to this bar. I built this little stand here. Well, this isn't a stand, but these parts are just to hold it up for a demonstration. Yes, it's time for a demonstration. I think it should work. If this doesn't work, then this isn't the clip that will be in the video. So, yeah. I gotta check to make sure I don't fire it first. I'm gonna rotate the barrel first. So, yeah, 2 motors. We're using 2 motors for this. 1 motor to fire and 1 motor to rotate. A small motor to rotate and a large motor to fire. I was gonna start with this, but this was just didn't have enough power to pull the rubber band. So looks like the blue, at least on my remote, blue, I don't know what to call it, the blue side of the remote, it's hooked up to the rotator. So let's show you how it works. So I'm going to put my hand here because it's not anchored yet. Obviously it's shaky at the moment. I'm hopefully going to fix that. So yeah, I just kind of lock it like that, and then cue slowly.